What's up, everybody? Mark with Theme Rhino here, themerhino.com. Welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be doing a very simple video. I'm going to be exposing a scam. And honestly, guys, if you really think logically about this, anybody's going to be able to see through it. The unfortunate part is many people get scammed on a daily basis. Okay, so this is a screenshot of somebody who wrote a comment, or not wrote a comment, wrote a Facebook post. And you guys know on these Facebook posts, there's these Facebook groups. There's tons of these Facebook groups that are Shopify related, that help you gain Shopify success. The reason why I put air quotes is because that doesn't actually happen. It's just essentially, income salary for the group owner. That's really what it is. And it's just a complete load of horse crap, to be honest. And I felt like I choose to expose this person. Well, I'm not going to actually show who the person is, but I'm showing the messages being sent because, honestly, guys, me exposing the person is not going to give any value. But what's going to give value is if I teach you guys to look through the BS, okay? So let's just go ahead and go through. So there's this post made, and if you guys are not familiar with the Shopify Facebook group scene, is that there are a lot of these gurus, quote-unquote gurus, who really are not even that well known, who create these Facebook groups, and they get people to join, and they're on their Facebook groups literally all day engaging with people, trying to get people to buy into their program or their special coaching, whatever the case may be. That's ludicrously expensive. And the problem with that, in my opinion, is they have no real success to back it up. So let's go ahead and go through this. So this was a post. Like I said, I took out the person's picture, screenshot, whatever, their name, their profile. But I want to go ahead and read it for you. It says, common mistakes. First of all, common mistake of a new dropshipper. So it should be mistakes, but whatever. After making over 5 million USD in sales and coached over 500 students, here are some deadly mistakes people are making. So this guy, first of all, I know for a fact this guy has not made 5 million, so he's lying. He probably hasn't even made a million. Not that a million is small, but I'm just saying he probably hasn't even, honestly, if I beg to choose and peg to differ, he probably hasn't even made 100 grand. But off of Shopify at least. Maybe scamming people, sure, but definitely not off of Shopify. And he says after making 5 million USD. Guys, something that I want to say is, if somebody's making $5 million on Shopify, first of all, I haven't even done that. But 5 million, okay, put it this way. We were in the six figures, and we had a team of staff back when I sold the clothing company. A team. We had a full-on team, okay? And this is where I started from zero. So if you have 5 million, I know damn well this guy doesn't even have time to even look in the mirror, okay? This guy, when you make 5 million in sales, you probably have a team of at least 30 people just alone fulfilling orders, assuming that it's drop shipping, so Oberlo or something like that, just fulfilling orders and clicking that button on the computer, allowing them to go through. That's number one, okay? And it says, and coached over 500 students. Unless you're Superman, you're doing this alone, there's no way this is possible, okay? But anyways, let's just keep it going. It says, so the first one, it says this is his tips on his deadly mistakes about, people are making in dropshipping. Let's see how BS this is. Too much information, quote unquote, online that claims to give you a result. So first of all, that's just that's not even a tip. That's not even a tip. It's dumb. I'm just going to ignore it. Getting opinions from beginners. Well, how would the person know, right, if it's a beginner? How would they know who's a beginner and who's advanced, right? These are just dumb. This is what you guys will see. This is the theme, is that there's no substance to what these gurus claim. You're never going to hear them say, run an ad campaign, start off with this amount, or do this, or target this, or try this ad network, or try that ad network, or I've seen better conversions with this or that. Nothing with substance. This is all just BS that they've heard millions of other people say, and they decide to repeat it themselves. Let's keep going. Joined too many Facebook group. First of all, the guy's English is off. That's number one. Number two, joined too many Facebook group. That's a mistake that people are making. I'll agree with that, but Once again, that doesn't add, once again, any substance whatsoever. Expecting to get rich quick. Once again, obvious. But, nothing of substance. Once again, start with a general store. That's a mistake that people are making. Could be, not be. I don't know. Expecting miracles with a $5 ad spend. Okay. I think he tried to write winning on a Facebook ad, no sales, and high CPM. So winning on a Facebook ad is a mistake people make with no sales, high CPM. That doesn't even make sense. I don't know what this guy is talking about. You know what's curious to me is if this guy can't even write a post with correct spelling and grammar. By the way, I have dyslexia, so I'm not hating on his spelling and grammar. But if he can't do that, how on earth is he going to get $5 million in sales? You got to make a good ad. You got to have good ad copy. You got to have good website copy. So I don't see where the connection is here. All right. I don't know what this word thought that using spying tools can give you a winner. Once again, there's no substance to this advice. There's nothing saying that use this or do that or don't do, you know what I mean? So try to use video ad while you have no experience. Once again, BS, because I've done photo ads, I've done video ads. I've had failures in both and I've had experience in both and I've had success in both. So once again, just total BS. For somebody to sit here and claim that a video ad as a beginner is not good for people who, starting their first dropshipping, it's BS. It's complete BS, okay? Start with the kitchen and beauty niche while you are not the buyer. So that's a mistake people are doing, right? Start with the kitchen niche or the beauty niche. That's a real doozy right there. That's a real big mistake for somebody to start with the kitchen niche. See, this is what I mean, guys. This is just dumb advice that's being... I don't even know where this guy got this information from. No stats to back this up. No testing. Everything I talk about in my videos, I've talked about testing. I've talked about in 2018, 2019, where we tested 10 to 15 assets per month. Business building assets. When I say build this business building assets, hire somebody to do the actual work and build a business essentially for me. I tell them exactly what to do. This was 10 to 15 per month. I know what works and what doesn't. I know statistics, right? There's no information behind the statistics. Start with a kitchen beauty niche. What does that even mean? Right? Anyways, let's continue. Not building organic traffic. So that's a big mistake right there that everybody's doing, is not building organic traffic. You guys hear me talk about organic SEO traffic all the time. The reality is you're not going to build a multi-million-dollar business off organic traffic, because what happens is there's so much competition. You can get a few thousand here and there, but you're not going to be able to compete with the guy who's been at number one. And I'll give you a perfect example. We're in the supplement niche. How on earth am I going to beat bodybuilding.com to fit for the keyword bodybuilding supplements? The answer is I'm not. Bodybuilding.com has been around for so long that you can't get spot number one. So once again, this is another just a BS kind of idea that he's saying, oh, this is how, making 5 million. After making 5 million, this is the biggest mistakes people are doing. SEO is one of those things that's just a supplemental income source. It's not going to be the thing that takes you from 0 to 6 million or 5 million like this guy does. So once again, just BS, just the constant BS, and I could just feel it through the writing. But anyways, let's see here. Not joining a mastermind/coaching. So this is kind of counterintuitive. At one point he's saying too many Facebook groups. Don't do that. Don't get too much information. Then he says not joining a mastermind/coaching. Now, I'm just going to tell you, I know this person does sell coaching. And so, we'll just continue reading on a little bit later. So of course, not joining some coaching is a huge mistake, because obviously he's going to be selling coaching. So, once again, you guys got to read through this crap. And when I see this, it pisses me off so much. Anyways, let's continue. Do not have enough credit cards. So not having enough credit cards, let's be clear, is a big, critical, killing mistake for dropshippers. Let me ask a question. How many credit cards in the world can you get to $5 million in sales? Once again, BS, just complete BS. Do you think that a credit card is going to hold? You think if you got sales, right, a credit card is going to change your world? Is going to make you have sales? No, this is insane. If you had sales and you couldn't fulfill the orders, any investor in the world would pay you or would pay for those orders to be fulfilled and get a return back on their investment. Any in the world. So this credit card conversation is once again idiotic. It's dumb. This is not the thing that holds people back. Honestly, the only thing this person should be talking about is traffic acquisition and conversion rate optimization. None of the other stuff matters. Like, do you think that if I have 2 credit cards, I'm not going to succeed with dropshipping? No, that's not true. Let's continue. Not able to set up the LLC fast enough. So once again, BS again. What does an LLC have to do with dropshipping? There's no requirement. First of all, I personally have LLCs. I have S corps, but what's the once again, this is just dumb advice that doesn't really mean anything. Not being able to set up an LLC fast enough for what? What is the rush for? That's number 1. Number 2, you could do a sole proprietorship. So, I mean, just because you don't have an LLC doesn't mean you're going to fail in business. The first thing you should be worrying about is learning how to acquire traffic. Let's continue. Not integrating email marketing. Once again, this is like a first grader level type, advice. Not integrating email marketing. That's going to be the thing that kills you to not get to $5 million in sales. No, you won't even get to $100,000 in sales without email marketing. Email marketing is a critical component, at least assuming that you have a moderate ad spend. But once again, basic stuff, guys, that literally gives people no value. And you'll see in the next photo that people just die over this information. And I don't even know how they fall for it. But let's continue. Okay. Not integrating, spending too much time on CS. So I think he meant like what? Like coding, like computer science? I don't even know. Spending too much time on CS. Don't know what CS is, but I mean, maybe somebody could tell me in the comments. Either way, I mean, you guys know me. The only things that you should really pay attention to is the quality of traffic and if it matches your website design. That's the only thing you should be focusing on, period. If you break it down very simply. Next one, checking sales and FB ad every 10 minutes. So that's the thing that's going to kill your success is checking sales and FB ad every 10 minutes. I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, I've done it. I mean, as long as you don't cancel the ad too early, you're good to go. So, anyways, do not have a partner. So that's going to kill your success if you don't have a partner. Or that's a mistake that people are that he's saying, if you don't have a partner. I've never had a partner in basically almost any business that I've ever had. Almost. Only very few that I have partners in. Very, very few. And just because you have a partner doesn't mean you're going to succeed. I've seen, in my agency, people who've had partners and clients, in my clients who've had partners, they failed because the partners just simply couldn't agree on what they're going to go through with the business. And it cost too much time, cost too much effort, and they just decide to cancel the whole thing. And finally, one of the last tips, and much, much more. And then notice what he writes again, and not joining a coaching/mastermind. So the coaching/mastermind was already mentioned, and then he mentions it again. Hopefully he's trying to get people to remember that he has to, they got to join their coaching. Let's keep reading. It says, if you want to learn the proper way of starting an e-com dropshipping business, I prepared a 5-day free training that covers all the basics you need to know. Simply reply 5 and I'll send you the link. If you have any mistakes that you have made and want to share, feel free to leave them in the comment below. Okay, so hopefully guys, I'm not the only one that sees the BS behind this post. Hopefully I'm not the only one. Clearly, there's people that have believed in this post, and look at the post. Look at all the comments. Most important, and the 5s are just going like crazy. Like, look at this, guys. I mean, you guys are seeing my point, is that there was no real advice given here. There was nothing of any kind of structure or anything that was meaningful in the advice that was given here, but people will die over this information. They'll think that, this is the best information, they're getting the most value. And the reality is, if you dissect the people in these Facebook groups, they are kidding themselves. They are tricking themselves. They believe that being in a Facebook group like this is going to give them the information that they need to finally become successful. But the reality is, it is the blind leading the blind. I've said this before, but in Facebook groups, specifically in Facebook groups, along with other forums, when you have a bunch of people who have no idea what they're doing, who have never made any money, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. If these people had made money, they wouldn't be on Facebook. I'm just going to be honest. All right? If you're making $5 million a year, what do you need to coach people for? You just go make another $1 million in drop shipping instead of coaching people. Does that make sense? It just so odd to me why people think that joining a Facebook group is going to change their world for them, make them successful. It's all a load of crap, okay? The Facebook perpetuation of joining a Facebook group and this added support, okay? Because that's what a lot of people do when they sell a coaching. Hence this guy. When you sell a coaching, when you sell a mastermind, okay, and you set up this free Facebook group that you can join, what happens is people look for added support. We know this because we've talked about psychology before. The reality is human beings make other decisions based on other human beings, okay? So, for example, liking bias. Okay, when an individual likes another person and sees that that person is doing something, they themselves are more likely to do it. Okay, just so many different cognitive biases that reinforce this is that people need other people for support. Back in the Viking era, okay, when you did a crime that was unforgivable, they wouldn't kill you. They would throw you out of the city walls, out of the village walls. Why? So that you can go fight out there in the cold by yourself and have your chance at life, which is arguably more torture than just killing you and getting the whole process done with. Okay? So my point here is that, if you are looking for real support, find support in yourself. Go and do research yourself. Don't join these Facebook groups and ask questions, expecting answers from people who've never made $1 in their life. Actually go out there, read books, maybe even buy courses from legit people, by the way, not from people like this, but legit people, okay? I'll give you a good example. Ani Singhal. I'm going to throw out his name here. The guy has spent I'm not even going to say hundreds. I'm going to say millions upon millions of dollars, maybe over 100 million in Facebook ads, okay? The guy knows what he's doing when it comes to Facebook. If you want to buy a course, buy from somebody who's already doing it, who's already successful, not from this kind of stuff, okay? And look for real data, real information. And most importantly, don't look all the time for other people to give you answers. Go find it within yourself. If you want the answer, test it out yourself. So, for example, if you have a question of, hey, does Facebook ads work? Don't even ask the question in a Facebook group. Go create a Facebook ad and see if it works. Very simply put. This is all I got to say for today's video. These videos these situations just frustrate me a lot, guys. And I figured I'd put it out there just to make it very, very clear about my thoughts on the BS perpetuation of this dropshipping stuff. The dropshipping Shopify world is just injected with millions and millions of this garbage. And in fact, there's more crap than there is good, honestly. And so I just had to make this video out there, put it out there, make it very, very clear the realities of Shopify success and that there is no get rich quick. Even if you join a mastermind or a group or whatever, some kind of mentorship, doesn't mean you're going to succeed. In fact, it probably most likely means you're not going to succeed because you're looking for somebody else for guidance, okay? And there's nothing that comes quick. You got to build it. You guys seen the older videos that I've talked about. I've talked about it took me 6 months to get my very first sale online ever. Of working every day, 20 hours a day on the website, learning, reading, self-education, actuation, putting it into practice, right? Doing the SEO, taking the photos of the products, editing the photos of the products, the images, putting them on the website. And by the way, they were mediocre. They weren't amazing. But like I said, I'm just going to cut the video here. I don't want to talk too much. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.